I've tried so many different training methodologies over the 10 years, 10 plus years. Squatting every day was not always a thing. That's only been the thing for the last 6 years, but I've trained very seriously more than 11 years now. So I've tried it all. And over the course of the journey, I've learned bits and pieces, and I haven't really taken people's word for it. I would literally try things. I've tried it all. Right now, what I'm finding that is working really well, and it's evident by all of the progress that I've had, is that combining very high volume training and then having a long stretch of rest is the best way to go about it. Now, traditionally, with that type of training, you lose neural efficiency. You lose a lot of that neural drive, and so you end up feeling a bit weaker because you're so out of practice. Like if you do what I just did here, which is a lot of low bar squatting, 5 sets of 5, very heavy, soul searching sets, the lower back is on fire, everything's on fire, my back is already on fire from yesterday. You can't really repeat that training session at all for another 7 days if you really put that much into it. And so, traditionally speaking, people would just have one leg day a week and this would be it, and then leave it until they rest up and try again. In terms of building strength, that's all right. Nothing wrong with that. But the trouble is that that's 52 squatting sessions per year. That's not a lot of practice at all. And so then you have a case of, you're doing all of this strength training, but you're not really practicing the efficiency of, walking out a heavy set, practicing the actual movement. And me, I've very much believed over the years that practice is a big thing, part of this sport as well. It's not just shooting a basketball or kicking a soccer ball or whatever else you got going on, tennis, whatever sport, skill-based sports. When I say skill of squatting, it's not just about, how difficult can it be to squat? Well, I'm talking about the neural aspect of skill, which is teaching those muscle fibers to fire efficiently. And that sounds kind of like a load of crap, but it's not just, you controlling the muscles. It's the muscle in itself, how they behave once you've sent the signal to them, which is essentially known as peaking, essentially known as, CNS training. And so what I've done here is I have a very, very hard session like I did today. And then I essentially have 70% singles every single day thereafter. And then somewhere in the week, I put, when I feel rested and I'm ready and the work is right well and I've slept well and I've eaten well, I have a session where I push that single to, recently it's been PRs, 220 kilos plus, that kind of thing. So the reason why I like this is because I've tried both extremes. I've tried early in my days, training really, really hard and then doing nothing at all, like just literally walking away from training whatsoever, doing like a, 3x5, 5x5 linear progression, Mark Rippetoe type of vibes, that kind of thing. Train 3 days a week and then rest 4. So that's a lot of rest of not doing anything. I've tried that, high volume, that kind of thing. Very, very tough training. And then I've also tried the Bulgarian-ish type stuff where you do very little, back off sets, very little volume sets, but it's all just freaking singles and neural efficiency training. Where I am right now is essentially a combination of those two things. So I'm not sending it on Bulgarian, I'm not sending it on Mark Rippetoe, I'm just somewhere in between. So I'm doing a Mark Rippetoe-ish day once a week, and then I'm doing a Bulgarian-ish day, which is very, very mild Bulgarian. It's no, you can't even say Bulgarian, but that kind of thing, right? Where you're doing a whole stack of singles every day. So now what you have is you have a situation where you've absolutely smashed yourself 1 day a week, and then you're doing all these singles and practicing the movement under extreme fatigue, but that fatigue is making those 70% singles actually be quite higher than rested 70% singles, right? If I'm fully rested, that 70% single is a piece of cake. But if I've come in tomorrow and hit a 160 single in an absolutely demolished state, that is much more than 70% on that given day. See what I mean there? So these, goalposts do move. Not every single day am I capable of 220. Absolutely not. Sometimes 180 is a 98% lift. let's say even 100% lift, whatever. Like some days I'm just fatigued, underslept, off a night shift, that kind of thing, and 180 is all I can do. Nowadays I don't really do that. I just do 160s, which is 70%ish, or I send it. So it's one or the other. There's nothing in between. And I find that 70% for me in a fatigue state is very good for me to kind of practice moving, practice bracing, practice the bar path, all of that stuff. So it's really beneficial for me. So I found a little thing for me. It's working right now. It's probably subject to change, like as everything is. But right now I've kind of developed a bit of a balance, and it's working really well for me. So both ends of the spectrum are serving me well. I appreciate you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.